So tell me more about the Brett Favre sack on Monday Night Football.
You know, it was actually pretty funny because Julius Peppers came off the field, and I didn't even see him come off. And he was like, "Woo, get in!" And I kind of ran on the field, so it was kind of like I was like late getting on the field. And then they called the timeout, you know, and I just gathered myself. I was like, "Shoot, like I hope I don't get in trouble for this." And then it was 3rd down and long, and you know, I was rushing on the right side against Brian McKinney. You know, was able to, you know, use a little power and get around him and be able to sack Favre. And you know, I was celebrating it, and then I looked back and I see he's on the ground, and he looked like unconscious, and I was like, "Oh man, like." Sucks he's hurt, but I mean, it's awesome to get my first sack against him.
Yeah, that was a wild experience. What was that whole week like with the Metrodome collapsing and then it being moved outside? Had you ever experienced something like that?
Not really. You know, it's kind of hectic. You know, we didn't know we were gonna play because the week before they played in Detroit, so we thought maybe that would be a possibility. But then, you know, everything with the Metrodome collapsing and then going to Minnesota Stadium. And they were talking about how bad the weather conditions were because they don't have a heater underneath their field, so it's going to be hard. And you know, it was this kind of whirlwind of everything. We didn't know where exactly we were going to play.
What was the field like? Was it pretty frozen?
Yeah, for the most part. Some parts were okay, but most of the parts were pretty hard.
Do you think the media just blew that out of proportion a little bit? Just kind of ran with it too much?
You know, I mean, every story they can have or take advantage of, you know, they're going to use. So
it's their job.
Yeah, that was definitely you know, something that was going to be a factor in the game, and it ended up being a factor.